Sergeant J. Etuk.
Okay, what does the J stand for?
Jerquanica.
Who came up with that name for you?
My mother. She was very creative.
No inspirations from anything?
My father's first name is Durante.
Oh.
Yep. And the last name is Nigerian. I am a mom to 2 handsome young men, okay? I am shaping them to be the man of tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay? They keep me busy with Little League football, basketball. They're currently doing wrestling. Okay? And of course they run up my grocery bill. Yep.
How old are they?
9 and 7. I've been with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office since May of 2014. So this year I'll be entering into my 11th year.
Wow.
Yes.
And how long have you been with the rank of sergeant?
I've been a sergeant for 3 years, just a little bit over 3 years. You know, for me, I just remember when I graduated mandate in 2016, I said, as soon as I become eligible for the sergeant's exam, I'm going to take it. So I just kind of aligned myself with those goals and, you know, just read policy, learned all there was to know, and I just went for it. I started my career working for a federal halfway house in Atlanta. Okay, I did that for about a year. That was something else. I moved on to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office where I served as a detention officer for about 2 years. I knew that wasn't going to work for me because I just wanted something bigger, you know, something better. I wanted to be an officer. That's when I applied for the deputy sheriff's position with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office.
So people may not know, what's the difference between a deputy sheriff and a detention officer?
Post-certified, peace-certified officer, okay? Detention officers are certified by post as jailers. Okay, that's the limitation to what they can do. They can work inside of detention facilities, they can work in jails. They would never be able to work outside, on the road, doing warrants, making arrests, all that type of stuff. So that is the the law enforcement part of it is the peace officer, and that is the difference. I'm currently assigned to ADC Support Services. I supervise intake, jail records, property, a little bit of bonding, and visitation.
Well,
I've been at ADC my entire career. I actually never asked to leave ADC. I love ADC, you know. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about training the deputies that come in the door. I love the area that I work in.
Why do you love it?
You know, dealing with inmate bookings, inmates' criminal histories, GCIC, you know, I don't know why I became very fond of that line within ADC. You know, being a woman in law enforcement is empowering. You know, historically, I would say women have had difficulties navigating through this male-dominated industry. When you think about career fields such as military, law enforcement, fire, or any of those type of macho type of career fields, they were not designed with the woman in mind. You know, we have had to compete and go hard, if not harder than our male counterparts. We have to work a little bit harder to earn our respect, to prove that we belong in this industry. So for me, getting in the door and just being able to navigate and maneuver around, to be able to stand on the side of my male counterparts and do the job just as well as they can do it, you know, if not better. Walk the same walk, talk the same talk, get accepted into the same positions, you know, be able to take a sergeant's assessment and become a sergeant. I felt empowered. You know, it feels good to be a woman in law enforcement. I must pay homage to the women that came before me, okay, because they fought that fight, so I didn't have to fight as hard. You know, when I think about it, I think about women like Jacqueline Barrett, the first black female sheriff in the United States of America, hailing out of Fulton County, Georgia. Melody Maddox, the first female sheriff in DeKalb County, our very own Chief Rhonda Anderson, the first black female deputy sheriff in Cobb County. You know, those type of women, they paved the way for me, and I just pray that I can continue in their legacy. That feels good. You know, I grew up in the city of Atlanta, okay, inside of 285 and 20. You know, crime and, you know, being involved with, you know, street activity, it was kind of the norm, you know. Unfortunately, I had family members, friends, loved ones that were in and out. You know, I was driven to make sure that I would not be a part of that. I wanted to be that beacon, you know, to show other people that it's okay not to choose that side, you know, choose the right side, you know. And also being able to be in law enforcement, one of my biggest dreams were to, like, recidivism, just like let me see what I can do to try to stop crime, you know what I'm saying? If I can give anybody a wisdom, even if I work in ADC, if I see an inmate and I can give them any words, hey, it's okay to go to AA, it's okay to take those parenting classes, it's okay to go to school, not to commit crimes. That was what I was about. So for me, as a woman in law enforcement, I would say that it's just been good. It's been good. Right now at ADC, they have done construction classes. They have done GED programs. I think they had a welding class. So those type of programs are exactly what we need to combat recidivism. You know, sometimes people don't have that background. They're not able to finish school for whatever reasons. Maybe they had to drop out to start working early. You know, I don't know. But those type of programs are going to help individuals by getting them careers. You know, the construction classes, they gave them the skills. They even gave them equipment, boots, hats, you know, tools. So for those individuals that was accepted into that program, they'll be able to go out and already have a certificate. And that's good for them, you know, and their families, being able to get out and go to work. The GED program, obviously right now you have to have a GED to do majority of anything. Okay, so getting those people in that program, giving them that education, that's gonna enable them to go out and, you know, get a job and do other things. You know, I must say that I have not had to deal with so much backlash for being a woman, being an African-American woman in law enforcement. I am one of those ones that's going to hold my head high. You know, I do not care about near say, I don't care about, you know, how anybody feel. I'm here to do a job. Okay, so every day I come in here and I put this uniform on. My goal is to do a job. Okay, and that is pretty much what my focus has been, you know, dealing with my male counterparts. You know, of course, you know, they're looking at it as a woman. Sometimes they're like, oh, she's weak, she's not going to be able to do it the same way that I'm going to do it. But we're proving them wrong. Okay, we are going out and we're doing things and we're doing it just as great as they are. Today in law enforcement, as women, we're able to be the boss. Okay, we are able to be the CEO, the chief, the sheriff, the commander, the lieutenant, the sergeant, and, you know, we're doing our thing. Ooh, Jay, she is an avid traveler. Okay, I love to catch a flight.
Where have you been? That looks exciting things you've been.
Most current places I've gone to was Cusco, Peru. Okay, I did see the world wonder Machu Picchu. I also, a couple months before that, went to Brazil and I saw Christ the Redeemer. So yes, I aspire to see every corner of the world. I love to travel.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I am also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Oh, you're forgiven. AKA over here, but go ahead.
And of course, I've already mentioned that I'm a boy mom, and I just enjoy hanging out with family, friends, and loved ones.
Okay, that is cool. A traveler in a D9 organization, which you know that's a big deal, period. When did you cross?
Spring 12.
Yes.
Delta Row, Albany State University.
Yeah. Come on, HBCU.
Come on, come through HBCU.
I love it.
Bucket list places. I am planning to go to Greece in the fall, and towards the end of the year, Egypt and Jordan, so I can see the pyramids. Women that are interested in joining law enforcement, a word of advice would be go for it. Okay? If it is something that you are truly interested in, something that you truly have a passion for, go for it. Find the agency that is right for you. You know, get in the door, train hard, learn all there is to know, set goals, align yourself with those goals, align yourself with positive people that will help you in reaching and obtaining those goals, and just do your thing, girl. You know, it's not for the weak, you know, and I don't mean that in a physical manner. I mean that in a mindset. You know, across the nation, everywhere, law enforcement, we're short-staffed. You know, retention is not always, you lose people, you get people, you know. But I just, you know, if it's right for you and you have a passion for it, stick it out. You know, if the agency you're in is not the agency for you, go to another one if you need to. But if it's something that you're truly passionate about, stick it out. You know, stick it out, you know. Go out for those positions that you're interested in. Maybe where you are is not where you need to be. You know, maybe you're working in this location and you want to be in this location. Take training, you know, build your resume, you know, make yourself to where you can join these other units. And, you know, stick with it. I suggest that you stick with it if it's something that you truly want to do. But if you figure it that it's not for you, then I would tell you to just, you know, you may have to move on.